สวัสดีครับ
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 Alright, we are in Phuket High channel and we are in podcasting. The grind never stop. Episode 18. The guys next to me, many people might know him already. But for people that not know, I will let this guy introduce themselves because every marketing stuff that you see for Phuket High, he's the guy who created. So let's get to know him. Alright, can you introduce yourself, brother?
Yes, I'm Andrew. I'm used to being on the other side of the camera. In
Yeah.
the episodes. I'm terrified right now.
Okay.
No,
Why you here today?
to hang out with you like every day.
Because we had no guest.
yeah, out of desperation. We have no choice. You have to bring me into the podcast.
No, kidding, crap. So yeah, what you doing? What's your company called? What's your inspiration? I want to know everything today.
All the things. So
yeah.
my name is Andrew. I run a company here in Thailand called Tellr.
Tellr.
And we do storytelling through content strategy.
Yeah.
We've been working with Phuket High for
Since start, I
since
can
the
say
start.
that year one, yes.
Yeah, which has been such an awesome experience and exciting to be a part of everything
Me
happening
too.
here.
Don't make me cry.
Well, let's cry together. Then we'll get some good juicy content.
Okay.
Yeah, and so I'm a creative person. I come from a background of music and art and been living in Thailand for 6 years, almost 6 years.
Almost 6 years
Yeah.
now. If I was a governor, I will give you my nationality already.
Oh, hell yeah.
But I'm not the governor, so yeah.
Okay, so
Let's
I can take you
continue.
to immigration with me and
No, cannot.
okay.
But yeah, so 6 years right here. Why you choose Thailand?
So I was not too happy with my life in America. I felt frustrated and stuck in a cycle. And so I wanted to explore the world a bit and I wanted to come to Asia. And when I had that idea, I started talking to people and
Yeah.
very quickly got an opportunity to come work here in Rawai,
Yeah.
in Phuket. So I jumped on that opportunity and within 3 months, I packed up all my stuff and
Yeah.
I moved out here. I thought I would be here for 6 months or a year.
Yeah, that's
And I never went home.
Now 6 years.
6 years, yeah.
So yeah, and like first time that we met with P-Lux. So we Phuket High never have like a marketing company or a marketing stuff before, except something that we think very quickly on that moment. And yes, we need a marketing. P. Cody recommend us to you.
The legend.
The legend. And now, yes, every single content that you see from day one is created by P. Andrew, and I was so happy about it because everyone know Phuket High. Everyone, I mean, we are in this position. I can tell that because of the marketing that we're doing.
I think it's because of all of us. We're all doing, and I also, just for people watching, I have an amazing team of people that, help with everything. It's not just me alone.
Yeah.
So videographers and, social media people
Yeah.
and content strategists and designers. So,
Yeah, yours has a good team as well.
but I remember before we started working together, I went home to the United States
Yeah.
to do my first trip back there. And when I left Thailand to go back to America, I had no idea that cannabis would be legalized.
Right.
I wasn't up on the news. I didn't know. I was
Yeah.
back in America for 3 months.
Yeah.
And within 3 months, cannabis was legalized. Phuket High opened, and Luke, who is our mutual connection,
my
was
partner, yeah.
Luke and Cody were like, we're opening up a dispensary. And I'm like, okay, how do I get involved? Because
Yeah.
I've been smoking weed since I was 13.
That's what I want to know. How to get into weed? Why is 13?
Because I have bad friends who really,
Not
bad
blame
influence.
your friend.
It's my friend's fault.
Okay.
I'm a horrible person because of my friends.
Yes, same as I.
Yeah,
Never
that's
blame
why.
myself, you
Yeah,
know?
uh-huh.
Yeah, we had a bad friend and
Bad
then...
friends, and now we're ruined.
Okay.
Now we're ruined for life. We're stuck in this cannabis thing.
Okay, what is your first smoke?
So I have some crazy, I feel like a lot of my early smoke experiences are out of a movie, like a teenage movie.
Yeah.
I remember I had friends who were in a rock band, and I always thought they were the coolest. They're playing punk rock music.
Man, that's cool.
And they would go and I would hear stories about them going and sneaking and getting high, but they didn't talk about it because they're 13, which is way too young, by the way, to
It
be
is.
smoking weed. But my friends were doing it, and I'm like, these are the coolest people. I want to figure out what they're doing. So they invited me to come smoke weed with them at one of their band practices.
Do you have music passion already that moment?
Yes, I was into music. I wasn't making too much of it, but I loved it. And
Yeah.
it's interesting because my passion for music and my passion for cannabis kind of happened like around the same time.
Okay.
It all like,
Because of that band friends.
Yes.
And yeah, now go ahead.
yeah, so they were making music. They invited me to get high. The first time I smoked, I did not get high.
Okay.
I smoked like a little bit and I just didn't feel high. But the second time I smoked was fucking crazy. Hopefully this is an interesting story.
Yeah.
When I was 13, my friend's older brother, so he's
Yeah.
like 4 years older than us.
Yeah.
My friend fell asleep. I'm sleeping at his house. We're hanging out. My friend falls asleep. His brother comes in the room and he's like, Andrew, come hang out with us. So he's the older friend, older brother. I think he's the coolest.
4 or 5 years old. Yeah.
We sneak out of their house, and he lived like on a little river, and they had a boat. So we just sit in the boat, like it's on the dock.
Yeah.
And his brother starts getting me high, and this is the second time I smoke, and I start to really feel high. And then across the river,
Yeah.
there's a husband and wife,
Yeah.
and it's probably 1 a.m.
Yeah.
And they start getting in an argument, and they're screaming at each other like, this marriage is over. We're never gonna have a family again. And it's just echoing across the river, and I'm high for the first time.
You laughing?
We're all laughing because it's just, but then my friend's brother, he starts screaming back, and he pretends to be a kid that's drowning in the water. He's like, save me, I can't swim, I can't. And we're all losing our shit. The couple across, they just go silent. They stop, At one point, they were threatening to throw the wedding ring in the water. It's like we're watching this movie like play out. It was...
Damn. It's such a good experience. Eh?
Yeah, but then they started to play with my mind, and they're like, the police are gonna come, we're gonna call your parent. They're just fucking with me because of how high I was. And we're sitting in this boat, they're like, you have to go in the water. Go in the water right now. I didn't go in the water because they were nice enough to know.
Good for you.
Yeah. But that was the first time I got high. I watched it. I listened to a family get divorced across the river. Yeah.
And someone to jump to the river.
Yeah.
And then you give continue.
Yeah, then I was like, this is the best thing ever. And no, it was like every weekend or, a couple times a month, we would all play music together.
Yeah.
We would go to my friend's house, and his parents were super cool. They didn't care about stuff, so maybe not.
But in that moment at your state, is that legal? Or
No, everything was illegal. It was still in America, everything was illegal, so we would sneak around. And,
Okay.
It felt very secret,
Yeah.
And we were also way too young, so it's like, our parents didn't know. And
That's what I want to hear too, because like you also in Thailand industry since I can say since start. What the difference between like here market from what you see back there to the USA?
A lot of differences, and in the U.S., like there's there's different states,
Yeah.
and each state has different laws. So like you look at California or New York or Illinois, where I'm from, Chicago.
Yeah.
Very different cannabis laws from state to state. So it changes the market and it changes the experience for the consumer and for the businesses. And I lived in a legal state one time for 3 years. I lived in Oregon when it was legal there.
Yeah.
And then I moved here. So I didn't spend too much time with legal states
Right.
and I didn't work in the industry in America. But in Chicago, for example, everything is so regulated. If you want to get a license, it takes years compared to Thailand, where you can pay some money and have one very quickly.
Yeah.
So everything it's almost kind of corporate and very controlled, and it's not as open, and it's a lot harder to enter the market. And as a consumer, when you go into these shops, like, you're showing your ID right when you walk in the door to get in. there's a lot of differences in the buying experience. You know, you don't get to like smell the weed.
Yeah.
You know, you look at a menu on an iPad.
Yeah.
And you pick based on the description.
And then we have like the pre-packs.
Yes, everything's prepackaged. You can't open it up and check it out. But you know, the quality of the weed is very good.
Yeah, right.
So it's usually no problem. But different
Are they
experience.
like very strong with the roll and stuff?
Yes.
Like, okay.
Yeah. Everything is very regulated.
And then, because what do you think about this? I heard something about USA. They say weed is about black people. And I used to see that one Netflix movie called Green Equal, Green Not Equal or something.
I've never seen.
But it's like about weed with black musician.
Yeah. Back in jazz.
Yeah, then someone named Armstrong.
Oh, Louis Armstrong?
Yeah, Louis Armstrong.
There's a lot of different thoughts about this. Some people say that the paper industry, like we don't have any paper here, but
Yeah,
the paper industry is because hemp was a competitor to
the tree.
To pulp, to wood pulp, and it was a lot cheaper. You can grow much more of it quickly.
Right.
And
that's true.
I mean, the Declaration of Independence that was written in the American government by the founding fathers was on hemp paper. The sails on the ships that came from Europe were made out of hemp. So like hemp has a long history in America, but then when the Industrial Revolution started happening and all these very powerful paper companies saw hemp as a competitor and they didn't want to go out of business, they lobbied the government and they pushed for changes in the laws to make hemp and cannabis illegal. That's one.
Bro, that affect Thailand.
Yeah.
Because the reason why Thailand is illegal cannabis is because we listen to the USA, because we have the long history together with Thai and USA. You know, military lesson, trainings, everything. We not copy, but we take as the standard from USA the most. So it kind of have long history, and we got the effect from what you say, I think.
Yeah, and also just what you were talking about with, you know, jazz music and black people and black culture in America.
Yeah.
I think they used that as a way to scare people away from cannabis earlier when there was still there was still segregation in America. There were still all these race issues, which there are still issues now today, but from a marketing side, the government said, you know, crazy jazz musicians and you know, black people and Mexican people, they're smoking a lot of weed and it's dangerous. And so it shined this spotlight on these cultures that people did not feel comfortable with at the time, and that it's propaganda, you know. They use it to change the laws.
Sense.
But
that makes sense. But that's I mean, that means affect a lot to this industry. But again, with the weed, I mean, USA is one of the biggest people on history right now, and we have a lot of benefit from what they've been doing, and we're trying to do it here. So that's why Thailand is step up very fast about weed on this industry. I mean, it's a good way. That's a good way.
I think it's a good way too, and it's way more open here, and regulations will change and things will develop, but like, just from a consumer and a business perspective, being in Thailand with cannabis there seems to be way more potential, and there's less regulations on things. So it's like,
how about own people comment on this cannabis?
What do you mean?
Like, own people in Thailand, they have like the very own generation that they like, because it used to be illegal, right? So sometimes when it swap up to legal thing, it's taking time, and we have a lot of effect from the own people that's like, hey, that should be narcotic before, how it's gonna come to be like good thing, blah blah blah, you know. It's
I think
same thing.
Similar in America, maybe less extreme because it's like there's been more time for it to become legal and medical, so people are more open to it, but there's definitely still a stigma around cannabis in older generations. I'm interested for you, like, because when I was younger, talking about when I was 13, like
Yeah.
cannabis was already, it was illegal, but it
Yeah.
was still very popular in like art and music. And I saw all my favorite musicians smoking weed. So it's
Yeah.
like, I made that connection. I'm like, oh, cannabis is interesting because some of the people I look up to are using it and they're making art around it.
Yeah.
Is that a similar thing in Thailand?
In Thailand, for example, like me, I started smoke weed when I was about 12. And my experience on cannabis is come together with recreation. That means I saw my dad, my uncle, they smoke. And but also I see them on the food. That I think my really first experience that I see cannabis. I used to see my dad cooking and then put that bud on that and then like mix them together with the curry and thing. And yeah, it's really good. I used to saw people put that in the hot pot for tea
Yeah.
to help with something. That's kind of my experience.
And many people were doing this, or it was very underground and no one really talked about
It's
it?
really underground. No one talk about it, and then it's been a really negative on this social on Thai social. It's very very negative. It's pretty much same thing with other like pretty much same thing with heroin, mass, something like that
Yeah.
on people mind.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think it's not very beautiful start in Thailand.
So around 12, you started smoking, or you tried smoking for
I
the first
tried
time?
smoking.
When did you like learn more that, oh, there's an industry in America around cannabis, or there's potential work opportunity around this plant? Like, when did you make that connection?
I'm like maybe about 5-10 years later that we start to, some people start to like bring back this narcotic cannabis and narcotic topic. Some people used to do the parade, and that's kind of very interesting for me because that moment in American they start to be legalized already, right? So that even make me more interesting on it. I start to grow. I start to, because of how value. There is value a lot in Thailand, and yeah, I mean.
So you saw it happening in America, and you already smoke cannabis. So you're like,
Yeah.
so when was the moment when you were like, I want to work in this industry, even if it wasn't legal here?
This is very very last. It's about 2 to 3 years before they legalize.
Okay.
Because in that moment I start to know that they legalize some parts of cannabis already, and they're being new often, and then yeah, that's until from that moment that I like, okay, this could be a job, or this could be a really good opportunity if we can come into it first. And yeah, I mean,
Did you imagine it would become what it's like right
no,
now?
not the first day, but I start to dreaming, making a goal after first month.
Yeah.
Because how they standable, not standable on the law, but how they standable on people who come and support, standable on the traffic, and I start to think, oh, I should like 100% on it, because that moment I still do 2 jobs, 100% on it, put energy on it. So yeah, in about 2 months, 1 month later,
Yeah.
yeah.
And when that loss did change, and you knew you were going to open a shop and
Yeah.
start a business, like, because it's happened so fast.
It's right.
Like, looking back now, what was that time like for you? Like, did you feel like it was just massive opportunity unfolding? Were you excited? Were you scared?
I bored. I'm kind of like bored. It's a massive opportunity that I really have to get in, and we kind of like has a really, everything was perfect moment. I met Luke. We talk about this. He say, "Hey, let's open the shop," and it's make me even more kind of like push on it. and we have every morning conversation talking about this shop, how our shop will be, what the lore updates. About 2 months before we started, and one day as well. But other than that, I'm thinking nothing much, because what to say, this kind of like, this is really kind of, if say my first business. After I used to have a watch business, but doesn't work well, and they crashed when the COVID. But this is the thing that now I told myself, like, okay, Korn, let's focus on this one, and like make it your job, make the best, do the best for it. Yeah,
And if you can go back, because so much has changed,
it is.
if you can go back to 2 years ago when you first opened the shop, or
Yeah.
maybe when you were preparing, what would you tell yourself?
I would tell myself from the first day, I should be ready more for it, because that time we don't have marketing to help right away that moment. We have P. Cody just help to do some logo designs. We not even have staff on the first day that we opened.
Just you?
That we had one staff is Bam Bam, but she gone already. And we have Henry. Harry.
Harry.
Yeah. And after that, we got you. Now I wanna ask you why you make decision like, okay, I will like help this cannabis shop. Let's focus on this.
Yeah.
Let's do this.
Well, so I was back in America visiting,
Yeah.
and everything changed.
Yeah.
It's interesting because our companies started pretty much the same time. I started Tellr. I went back to America to get my visa and everything sorted.
then, yep.
So I was very focused on just doing content with tech companies like Web3, blockchain.
Yeah.
And then all of this happened, and I never in my mind even considered working in cannabis. Like I don't know why, because I've loved it, most of my life,
right.
and it's had a big influence on me. I just never saw that opportunity and didn't pursue it. And then this happened, and I'm like, oh, this is like the stars are aligning.
Yeah.
And I love this industry and the product, like the flower, just and the impact that it has on humans and
Right.
creativity and like
Right.
communities.
Oh, I remember how fun we are in really first year, second year. We're pushing a lot, do everything that we can do for marketing. Go on every single event. I think.
Yeah. I just saw I felt like I can be myself.
Yeah.
And tell these really fun, creative stories around Phuket High and the team and the
Right.
product, and like it just
so nice
it
for
just
me.
it's like it was the sky's the limit. It's like, oh, we can do some crazy stuff with this
Right.
and really like tell this story of cannabis developing in Thailand, which is why we started this podcast.
Right. What's your strategy? Like,
Strategy?
yeah.
For Phuket High?
Yeah.
I think focused on, as we're doing, it's like building a community around this product and our shared love of this product.
Yeah.
And showcasing a fun human brand and the individual personalities, like working
Right.
with you,
Right.
like you're a big aspect and your personality is a big aspect of Phuket High. So
Maybe shy.
we can cry a little bit. And I think the world loves to see it. Not just people in Thailand, but I think there's a lot of interest and
Yeah.
I met you, I already knew Luke a little bit.
Yeah.
I met you and like I saw how personable you are and how loving you are and how much you love this plant and
Right.
doing this work, and I was like, oh, this is going to be fun to make content and tell this story, and
Right.
it's just been crazy ever since.
It's many things to talk, because every single marketing stuff is from you. If talk, we can spend all day. But
What's been the most fun for you? We've we've made so
everything
much
was so
content
fun.
and
Yeah.
we've done so many projects. Like what's been
for
fun?
me, what been fun, I love every kind of content that's like we making video. Because remember, like first time I'm very shy
Yeah.
and very hard to get one video. It's very hard to get one proper video, and then my English is not that good. But what fun thing for me, like, bro, every time that we film video with your ideas, smoking crazy shit, doing it, that's all fun for me, because it's all new stuff. For me,
Yeah.
that's what's fun.
You've
for
gotten
me.
so good at it too. Like you're natural now, and you come like prepared and ready. And yeah, I remember like early on,
Yeah.
you were always smiling and happy, but sometimes we needed to be serious, but like you couldn't be serious because you were just always
do
happy.
like this.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, making this podcast has been one of the highlights for me, and I feel like we're just even getting started, and
Yeah.
what we can do with it is like the sky's the limit. Like
Yeah,
telling this story of Thai cannabis is so interesting.
Right, because most everything like we do is organic.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Right. So I mean the result that I get back, I'm pretty love it, and what people giving us like the comment, feedback,
Mm-hmm.
and how people come and support us, even today, even still now. I mean, we can say it's success for me.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
a success, and it is still a long way to go. A very long way for me to go on this industry.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe can we talk more about like Tellr?
Yeah.
How become Tellr, and then what Tellr are doing right now?
Yeah, so I mean, Tellr, the name Tellr kind
Yeah.
of comes from the word storyteller, because I feel if you boil down everything I do to like one thing, it's storytelling.
Yeah.
So I wanted to start a company that was focused on storytelling for brands,
Yeah.
for personal brands too, for individuals.
Right.
And that has, a lot of shifting and changes has happened over the last couple years, and now we're very focused on creating our own media. We have our own podcast.
Yeah.
Go check us out, search Tellr on YouTube and find the podcast. Maybe you can join us on
Yeah.
an episode.
For sure, I
Yeah.
would love to go. Let's talking about something. Let's talking about his favorite thing, OnlyFans.
Yeah.
Something.
I keep talking about OnlyFans. We just did an episode and we talked about it again.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm only subscribed to 300 OnlyFans.
จริงเหรอ only three.
No, I have zero. I'm currently subscribed to zero.
Okay.
I have subscribed to other OnlyFans.
Okay.
And if you're an OnlyFans creator, hit me up.
Yeah, but yeah, that's what Tellr do.
Korn won't talk about it, but I keep every week I try to pitch the Phuket High OnlyFans account, but he won't let me do it. He keeps saying, "No, Andrew, this is not aligned with our brand. Why do you keep trying to do this? You have a real
Yeah,
problem."
I have to real thinking about it being aligned or not aligned. Because
Yeah. For me, it's a line. Just don't think about it and let me do it. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So
Okay, so we're gonna have OnlyFans content very soon.
you heard it here first.
No.
Okay.
Okay. What's out like?
Maybe just a little bit music. I love music. I know you love music too. We have a lot of shared music interests.
Yeah.
Was music and cannabis like a thing that came together for you?
Right.
Or do you?
It is for me. It's the thing that came together because, I mean, most of people, I can say like every time that they would sit down and chilling, one thing on chilling is music. That to be chill, and maybe because of the picture that we see even from television, YouTube,
Yeah.
everything. We see the hip hop musician with the joy, with weed. So I mean, it kind of came together.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that my thoughts on that one.
And is there like, before it was legal here, were there like Thai musicians who everyone knew they
Yeah,
smoked
for
weed, but they
sure.
didn't really talk about
That's
it?
right. So there is three, I can say, country song. Carabao, the Carabao, now they are being a billionaire now. So everyone know that he smoked. They had some song that's aligned to weed, talk about weed. And one band, a southern country song, Marijuana. That's his name. His man name.
Not shy, just marijuana.
Yeah, Marijuana. So represent a feeling of cannabis, smoke cannabis, feeling after smoke cannabis. And there's a lot of reggae band that represent this, and then I think that's really first picture that we see a cannabis come from too.
From music too.
Yeah, from music too, except from cooking, from something like that. So, yeah, from music, I think that's what we see the most.
Yeah,
You know?
it's very interesting how
It is.
we have similar experiences on opposite sides of the world with
Yeah.
cannabis and music and art.
Right, and also every event, see, they will have or cannabis event.
Back in the day too.
Yeah, before they don't have much like cannabis event, but they will say a music festival event, and then sometimes they have, for example, like Isan Khiao and Isan.
It's like
They have the
green,
music.
like green.
Yeah,
Isan
Isan Green.
Uh-huh.
In Isan, they have event for like many years already, and people know that like you can take bong, take everything there, smoking there, music festival event, or many music event have have cannabis. So
You just mentioned something too that I think most people don't know, which is the bong was invented
yeah,
in Thailand.
right. So most of people, I mean, 100% of Thai smoker stoner, no one start from the OG or OG flower or the strain that we used to see on the shelf before. The only thing that we smoke is that brick
Brickweed,
Yes.
yeah.
Then when you do brickweed, you have to chop them out because they compound it together. So chop them out. And Thai people smoke a lot cigarettes. So if you smoke that pure weed, it's not just too high. It's also you lose a lot, you know. So you have to mix with something to make
Yeah.
it more for more people. So mix with cigarette.
And were you smoking brickweed 100% until it was legal, or there was a time when it was still illegal?
There is a time before start legalizing. I would say in about 2 years.
2 years before.
Yeah, 2 years, 3 years before that we start to know underground grower. People start to share knowledge about growing, have avatar profile, selling weed, something like that.
Do you remember that first time that you smoked non-brickweed?
Non-break.
Like what? Was it like, holy shit, this is...
Yeah, I was after I have family already, of course, and then after right that moment, I decided to, bro, I have to like retail this thing at my hotel. So, yeah, should be OG Kush from one of the Nakhon Si Thammarat guy grower. I think if I'm not wrong, his name Nung or something, but they all avatar profile. So I'll order about 3 grams, and then it's like 600 baht a grams at that moment. So first time I'm hiding my wife, smoke. So the jak leaf, by jak, because I can't smoke with the bong, I can't do equipment right that moment. So in Thailand they have the leaf that you can roll tobacco then smoke. So I do with that leaf. I take off the leaf that not need as much as I can, very taking care until have the very thin white leaf left. I roll tobacco, then I grind that with and then put on top tobacco. First hit, the so like tasty and smell. I was standing like, oh my god, this is very good, you know. It's worth 600 baht for me. I can buy this, like I can sell my house right now to buy. But also I have to hide my wife, so that 3 gram I think I smoke like a week, a lot. But yeah, and yes, it give me a very good experience. I was high right away, and it's different high from that breakaway. So yeah, that's kind of my first OG experience, and I know right away that I have some opportunity to make money on it. I cannot buy that often. 600 baht is that moment. Yaba was like 120 baht per one. But weed was 600, you know. You can buy like 6-7 yaba for that. But yeah. So so yeah, that's kind of like my first experience. I know right away that I have to be retail shop and selling this. Yeah.
It just the improvement of the quality of
Right.
cannabis over the last 2 years
Right.
since legalization here has been awesome. Like this,
Yeah.
the weed being grown. There's some weed here that's it's as good as any weed in the world.
Yeah.
I guess one thing that I'm interested in hearing from you is like people are watching from around the world.
Right.
If you can send any message about Thai cannabis and cannabis tourism coming to Phuket, coming
Yeah.
to Thailand for
Yeah.
cannabis, like what do you want people to know about this industry in Thailand?
Yeah.
And
So we are in Thailand. It's with agriculture. We ain't been ahead of like on Asia for rice for many things, and then agriculture is kind of the thing that most of people know since they are born. They used to see a lot, and I mean 3 years from start till now, I think many people, also me, we are very impressed with the quality and the strain that what we perform here in Thailand right now. What I want them people to know is I mean, bro, yeah, we have a really good lesson from a cannabis industry around the world, like, and then we take that experience and then like improving ourselves more on that, and I think in a few time we will see Thai cannabis under this GACP thing flying out around the world. That's what I want to see, and then I really trust that we're gonna have many medical cannabis farms here in Thailand that can do export, and then that to show the world that okay, in Thailand also growing a medical weed and good weeds.
yeah, are you ready for Phuket High weed to be all around the world?
I'm ready.
Yeah.
We have, I mean, I can say we will have this license soon next year, and with our cannabis medical farm soon next year. So yeah, we will keep update for that one. That thing is we put every energy on and our goal, and they are everything to us. This medical farm will have to work only for me. Yeah.
So if people can't visit Thailand to smoke the weed, then maybe soon in the near future they can still get it in their market across the world.
I sent to you.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yes. So and then for you, you think what's your plans next? Like what you see on the next cannabis future, a marketing thing?
Yeah, I mean, I just want to keep telling this story as it progresses. We've only scratched the surface.
Yeah.
And I think there's all this history and all these changes that are happening in real time that are very interesting.
Right.
I feel like just Thai culture is such a beautiful culture and welcoming and warm and like, it's the land of smiles. It fits perfectly with getting high. So if I could advise anyone to go smoke weed in any place in the world, it would be right here in Phuket.
Yeah, and Phuket High.
At Phuket High.
At Phuket High.
Not like this is the best place to smoke weed.
Yeah, because I think we support a lot of the local thing right here. But trust me, in Rawai we have a really good food, for sure, really good weed, and like many local places here, massage, Ali Barbecue.
Ali Barbecue, yeah.
Man, that's perfect, you know.
Smoke some weed at Phuket High.
Yeah.
Drink a coconut on the beach.
Yeah.
Eat some Ali's barbecue.
Yeah.
Get a massage.
Yeah. And Wilson has very good coffee, breakfast, or even fusion foods. Like we got everything here in Rawai with a perfect cost of living.
Yeah.
I agree. So yeah, invite everyone here. Like Andrew now, he's on leave for 6 years. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I'm gonna stay here forever. So 6 years is just the start. And
see that. Yeah. What would you do some advertising for Tellr?
Yeah, I also just want to say how grateful and like thank you for having me on the podcast.
Man, for sure.
Thank you for
we talk about it for such a long time, and you're such a busy.
Yeah. Also, just the opportunity to work with Phuket High and like
that
do this together. It's great.
We still have a very long
Yes.
way to go. Yeah.
But yeah, come check out Tellr if you like technology and culture and art. Give us a follow.
And marketing too.
And marketing.
Yeah.
And follow Phuket High, follow Korn.
For sure.
And yeah, big things coming. Don't miss what we have in store. It's going to be a fun time ahead.
All right. So today, thank you everyone so much. Thank you, P. Andrew, so much too. And then for anyone that not subscribe to our channel, please doing right now. Just
subscribe.
like, share, subscribe for us too. Just just some กำลังใจ just to giving for us to continue to doing this thing for you guys. Bye bye ครับ สวัสดีครับ
สวัสดีครับ